Greetings YouTube, welcome to Apex to Muck. This is not just another ride. This is a tale of obsession of speed and of a chai. On a fine morning just before the dawn cracked the silence, I saddled up on my partner. The new 2025 Adventure 390, a machine that's ferried me across the states and through the stories. From Bangalore to Hyderabad, a 640 kilometers of mission for a cup of tea. But not just any tea, the legendary Zafrani Chai at Pista house, the indulgent Niloufer treat, and of course a local Irani chai that etched itself into my cravings. With the world asleep, I rolled her out. A quick pre-ride ritual, chain lubed, bolts tightened, fuel topped, coolant checked, every detail mattered. Every sound, every vibration had to be in sync, because this wasn't just a ride, it was a run against time. 6 hours of a straight dash. But the road had other plans, and so did the machine. In this 10 minutes of vlog, I will take you through the tarmac tales, the moment of joy, the minor breakdowns, and the love-hate bond I share with my 390. This is more than just a vlog. This is Apex to Muck. An hour later into the ride, I pulled over. Not for rest, but for a ritual, a shot of caffeine to fuel the soul. The morning chill was long gone, the Adventure 390 was running hot. Caught in the chokehold of slow-moving traffic on the busy ring road, I watched the speedometer scream. A high coolant temperature warning, blinking a red flag. She was pushing through, but I could feel it. The heat rising, the tension building, this wasn't going to be a smooth ride. The streets of high-tech city welcomed me with a surprising calm, clean, open, almost the city itself knew I had arrived. But even as the skyline rose around me, the ride reminded me, it's never truly over. The visor began to rattle, a faint buzz that quickly turned into an irritating symphony around the mountings. Midway through the city rush, I had to pull over and tighten it down. A small pause, but every second mattered. Throttle pinned, eyes on the lock, I wasn't able to let anything keep me from the Niloufer. 6 hours, one relentless stretch of asphalt, sweat and throttle, and finally the streets of Hyderabad unfolded before me. I linked up with an old friend, a familiar face in the city full of layers, and without wasting a moment, we set our course for the legendary Niloufer cafe. The ride had tested me well, and the chai would definitely reward me. The cafe, a storm of voices, footsteps, steam, and steel. This wasn't just busy, it was alive, a pulse of city beating loud and fast. Inside, the air buzzed with urgency. Cups collided, orders flew, the scent of chai, thick and intoxicating, wrapped itself around the chaos. But for me, it was too much. 6 hours on the saddle, bones humming and mind racing, heart still echoing the rhythm of the road. And in that crowd, I felt like a stranger. And then it happened. The first sip, that perfect blend of spice, warmth and comfort. Rich, golden and unapologetically bold. In that one moment, everything made sense. To this cup, it wasn't just tea. It was a reward, redemption. The taste every chai lover dreams of when they say, I need a real cup of chai. And there I was, sitting beside a friend sharing stories, laughter and silence. The kind only good chai can fill. But the road was calling again. So with the last sip still warming my soul, I rose. Back on the saddle and back into the streets of Charminar. One chapter closed and the other waiting just around the bend. But the road ahead had other plans. The traffic was relentless, an ocean of honking cars, auto rickshaws, and the restless riders inching forward packed shoulder to shoulder. No space, no rhythm, just chaos. I turned off the main road and dove first into the veins of old Hyderabad. Narrow lanes, the kind barely wide enough for a handlebar, flanked by houses painted in stories, chipped walls, old wooden windows, balconies spilling laundry and life. Every turn tighter than the last. Stray dogs weaving through, kids playing cricket with a rubber ball, scooters tucked against a door like sleeping animals. The kind of street where the time slows down, but the heartbeat of the city grows louder. And then it opened up. Out of the maze, I emerged, the lanes unraveling into a scene alive with motion. People swarming like bees, the buzz of conversations in thick air, street vendors calling out. It was loud, it was raw, it was real. And there it stood, Charminar, towering, timeless, drenched in the history and dust in the light. The sun had dipped beneath the skyline, and with it, the city shifted. Hyderabad's night had begun, buzzing, blaring, alive. And for me, the next act was obvious. Another cup of tea. But not just any cup, this time it was a legendary Zafrani Chai from the Pista house. Golden, fragrant, steeped in spice and soul. Navigating through the therm of traffic, weaving past relentless cabs and late night vendors, I made the way. And finally, there it was, Pista house. Standing tall under the glow of signboards and headlights, waiting with the warmth only it could offer. I parked my bike and then started towards the counter. No hesitation, I stepped in and placed the order. One Zafrani Chai. Simple words, but behind them, 640 kilometers of efforts, grit and relentless throttle. As I walked to collect the cup, everything around me blurred. Voices faded, footsteps slowed, and it was just me and that tea. I stood there, waiting, not for the tea, for that moment. And then I saw it, that golden steam pouring into a cup. The saffron glow catching the light just right. This wasn't just a drink, this was a victory. Every mile, every rattle, every tight turn and loud horn, it all led here. To this cup, this moment, thus is peace. And like all good cups of chai, this wasn't just sip, it was shared. And the conversation began. What else would you expect from me? Years of motoring, miles burnt into muscle memory, stories woven into fuel lines and suspension travels. Tonight, it was the Adventure 390. The dawn broke on my return journey to Bangalore, but it didn't come with the good news. Coolant dripping from the overflow hose, a bad omen for a long ride back to Bangalore. But like every good ride in Hyderabad, I reached for one last cup, a Irani chai, strong, familiar and comforting. Irani chai isn't just a tea, it's a pause button on life. Strong, bold, a little bitter, a little sweet, just like the roads we ride. And with that, the story of tea came to a close. And now let's talk about the machine. Last night the bike started whispering signs of trouble. Side stand warning flashing on the screen, cruise control error, high coolant temperature warning again. At multiple points, the engine shut off in the mid-city traffic. This was supposed to be a reliable adventure machine, but it instead limped. The soul of the ride lives beyond the errors, and now it's time to get those bugs sorted out. This was no ordinary vlog, and this is no ordinary channel. This is Apex to Mux, signing off from one ride and already gearing up for the next insane journey. Stay tuned, subscribe and motor with me.